In my face, I ain't got no words. I ain't got no words. I ain't got no words.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers Advice. We're a little bit late on the video, but man, we are here today, man. We're talking about the Panthers Texans joint practice. First up, let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about this play right here. Who was this play? This play or player is going to Mr. Xavier Legette right here, man. Look at that catch right there. Hold up. Let's run that back from the beginning. So off the release, let's see what happens right here. All right, looks to be man coverage right there. Probably two man under, I'd assume. Oh, this was clean from the jump. So we're looking at a little out and up, as you're going to see. DB, he's going to get that jersey from the back, right? A nice little tug right there. And I want to pause it right here. How this didn't get more positive engagement is kind of beyond me, because we're looking at 100% rep and Excel bringing that thing down. With his hands, right? Look at this. With his hands too, you see that DB. If you take a look right there, you see his glove, right? So he's on that inside arm right there. And Excel brings that thing down. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with this dude, all right? Looks like potentially shotgun right there. Excel once again. And of course, shout out to Carolina Blitz. All right, link will be in the description below to check out all the other content she has on X, all right? Keep this thing going. Dump it off to the running back right there. Nothing too special. Andy Dalton still in that quarterback. You had Bryce Young in the first two XL passes. Andy Dalton throws up to Hunter Renfrow. Not a lot of Hunter stuff, to be honest with you. I think there was a couple ones where they try to hit him over the top and just a little bit overthrown. All right, just a little bit overthrown right there. Bryce Young back under center right here. Let's take a look. Something I did notice was, and it's an improvement, is he's not snapping the ball like that. It's not one, it's not on two, right? He's reading the defense, right? It could still be on one or on two, but we're not rushing to get up there, right? We're making the D lineman sitting at 3-point stance or a 4-point stance definitely longer than he has the first 2 years. So shout out to Bryce for that, and the coaching staff, obviously. Right there, nice little run play. Give it to Chuba Hubbard right there. Okay, nicely done so far. Bryce Young dropping back. All right, dumps off to Mitchell Evans right there. I'm excited to see Mitchell Evans. I'm excited to see what he can do with this team. All right, it looks like a reliable target. All right, take a look at this right here. Bang. Hands clean. Again, nothing too crazy, right? Nothing too crazy. And now we get to the defense right here. All right, Texans run a nice little screen right there. Great play on 3rd and 10 right there. And the next play we're going to look at, you got CJ under center right here. A little motion from the Texans. And you got Tuttle blowing that thing up. You're going to see Schultz right here. He's going to try and come in, hit Tuttle right there, and take a look. Tuttle's going to shut that block right there. Bang, bring down the running back. You had DJ Wanham right here. So the rush defense definitely got a lot of praise. Now, when it came to pass rush, not so much, okay? And there was one play in particular that everyone kept going over, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But nobody talked about this play right here. All right, so let's run this one back real quick. Let's take a look what happens. So off the rip, CJ's dropping back. Bang, you got Shaw Smith-Wade coming in, it looks like. All right, look at that. Shaw Smith-Wade's coming in right there. He was going to bring down CJ. All right, and we got another guy coming in off the end. Is that, I think, Patrick Jones right there, if I'm not mistaken? Number 91 right here. He's coming in the middle too, right? Nobody wants to talk about this, though. And now we're back to 3rd down right here. All right, CJ's going to drop it off right there. Hit Dalton Schultz underneath. Do we get any pressure? Let's take a look at how long the play took in general. All right, so 1, 2, 2.5 seconds, right? Most quarterbacks have 2.5 to 3 seconds. So if we're expecting the Panthers to get a pass rush within 2.5 to 3 seconds, I got to tell you, we're not on the same page. Who did we sign that made you think, okay, the Panthers now have a top 5 rusher in the NFL? We didn't sign anybody to do that, right? You signed Princely. Again, supposed to be a first-round pick, a ton of potential. You signed Nick Scordon, a bigger, stronger side linebacker. And you got DJ Wanham and Patrick Jones. Patrick Jones can improve too. DJ Wanham we saw last year. So if you're expecting a consistent pass rusher to get in there between 2.5 to 3 seconds, I got to tell you, that's not going to happen at the beginning of the season. Maybe as the season goes on and somebody starts getting double teamed. But as of right now, to expect that, you've lost your mind, if I'm being honest with you. Because the Panthers don't have that, right? We don't have that top 5 pass rusher. We don't have an Aaron Donald, Trey Hendrickson, Micah Parsons. That's not what we have. So that being said, let me just keep it going, right? Because I don't want to spend too much time on that. I got what I needed to say out. Let's keep it going, though. Right here, Bryce Young under center once again. Nice pass to Tedero and McMillan right here. So it looks like we're going to have man coverage right here. Let's take a look. Bang. I mean, he's looking clean. Then we go back to Bryce Young under center right here. And I think this is the one that gets picked off in the corner of the end zone, as you're going to see right there. Now, you don't actually get to see it, but it does get picked off. You know, things happen, right? Joint practice. This is where you want to try things. I'm not going to put too much emphasis on that right there. And now we're going to switch up the angles. So last time, shout out to Carolina Blitz. We saw from the Panthers' perspective. Those clips weren't really going viral, though. These were right here from the Texans' perspective, talking about the Panthers didn't have a pass rush. Let's just pause it right here. I can't quite tell who this defender is right here, right? But if you run it back, they're going to be right here. And I can't quite tell who that is. Watch them right here. They're easily getting to CJ Stroud, but they're going to ease up, right? They're going to ease up. And CJ Stroud knows he would get lit up, but because he's got the red jersey on, all right, he knows he's not going to get hit. That's going to allow him to make that throw right there. That's something we have to account for. When talking about the pass rush, this and the third, you got to remember, the D-line at times is going 100%, but it's not consistently going to 100%. Because you're not going to be able to tackle the quarterback anyway. And now we're going to get to the play that everyone was talking about. Was this one right here. Okay. Let me ask you one question real quick. Let me ask you one. Anybody want to tell me who's 74? And no disrespect to 74, but does anybody want to tell me who's 74? Because I had to look it up. Right, I had to look it up. That's Sam Roberts. Sam Roberts, 6'5", defensive tackle. He's been in the league for 3 years at a Northwest Missouri State University. Is he starting? Is he starting? Right. So, are we really emphasizing this? But nobody's talking about Tershawn Wharton. Spin move, right? Get those shoulder pads, bang, rip underneath, and he was gonna be right there in CJ's face. Now, yes, I look over here and I see this. Unfortunately, I don't know who the edge guy was. But this is what everyone's talking about, is this play right here. 74. Not looking at Tershawn Wharton creating havoc on that end side, right? Come on, guys. I mean, was it Sam Roberts? Sam Roberts. Come on, guys. We can't base a Panthers pass rush of somebody who's probably not first or second string, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys. All right, right there. Pressure once again. But because he has the red jersey on, you see what I'm saying? Right? And so people talk about coverage sacks, this, and a third. It wasn't always coverage sacks. Sometimes it was a deep passing concept where it takes a little bit to develop, right? And you need your line to block. Take a look what happens right here. So you got Derek Brown in the middle right there. All right, you're going to have Tershawn Wharton in the middle right there too. So this whole pass rush thing, come on, man. And then right here is going to be our last play. All right, CJ's going to drop it off right there. Texans score. I mean, bravo. But I mean, really, you got Patrick Jones. Bruh. You think I'm worried about the pass rush? Look what he's doing to this guy. This is a number 5. Not a 4, which could be a fullback, right? Not a 3, could be a running back. Not a 2, running back. Not a 1 for a receiver. Not single digits. We're looking at a 5. And look what Patrick Jones is doing. He's easing up. If he wanted to, I promise you he's smacking that arm. But he's not. The pass rush, come on, man. I'm not remotely worried. I'm not remotely worried. So with that being said, that's going to wrap it up. Panthers devices out. I'm not worried. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.